Why are so many apocalyptic natural disasters suddenly happening all over the globe? Michael Snyder reports. Almost every day there's another apocalyptic natural disaster in the news. Have you ever wondered why this is happening? This year there's been an endless parade of unprecedented fires, floods, earthquakes, storms, and droughts. On Wednesday, it was Hawaii's turn. An absolutely horrifying wildfire ripped through the heart of the island of Maui like a lawnmower, and it happened so suddenly that many were not able to evacuate in time. The one pilot that has spent 52 years flying over Maui says that he has never seen anything like this, he says, in my life. Video footage shot by Air Maui helicopter tours over parts of the Lahaina area shows entire blocks were decimated by the flames, with little but ruins and ashes left, and everything still engulfed in a thick, hazy smoke. We were not prepared for what we saw. It was heartbreaking. It looked like an area that had been bombed in a war. Richie Olston, the director of operations for the tour agency, told CNN's Jake Tapper on Wednesday, "It's just destroyed." In my 52 years of flying in Maui, I'd never seen anything like this in my whole life, Olston said. By the time it's over, this could potentially end up being the most costly natural disaster in the modern history of Hawaii. Many of the video clips and images of the disaster that are being posted on social media are truly horrifying. This fire moved so fast that people were literally jumping into the ocean to escape the fire. One man that took drone footage of this fire described the destruction that it is causing as apocalyptic. Clint Hansen took drone video Tuesday night that showed wildfire spreading just north of Kihei. Lahaina has been devastated, Hansen told CNN. People jumping into the ocean to escape the flames, being rescued by the Coast Guard. All boat owners are being asked to rescue people. It's apocalyptic. Of course, it's not just Hawaii that's dealing with apocalyptic fires. Over in Europe, an absolutely gigantic wildfire has already devastated thousands of hectares of land. The following comes from an article posted by a British news source entitled "Raging Portugal Wildfires Force Hundreds of Tourists to Flee Apocalyptic Inferno." Hundreds of terrified tourists have been evacuated from dream holidays in southern Portugal after wildfires continue to rage out of control. The huge blaze has destroyed thousands of hectares of land in the area of Odamira in the Alentejo region since the disaster started on Saturday. It has now spread south towards the Algarve, prompting the evacuation of 1,400 people, which includes tourists staying at 4 resorts in the holiday destination, as well as 19 small villages. We're also seeing lots of unprecedented storms in recent months. Recently, a cataclysmic hailstorm in Germany made it look like it was winter right in the middle of summer. I was astounded when I first saw that. Elsewhere in Europe, a month of rain fell on parts of Slovenia in a single day. Horrendous flooding ensued, and we're being told that this is likely the worst natural disaster in the entire history of Slovenia. On the other side of the planet, officials in Beijing continue to deal with the aftermath of the nightmarish flooding that recently hit the city. The death toll from devastated floods in China's capital, Beijing. Another 18 people are said to be missing following heavy rain and flooding in the aftermath of recent Typhoon Toksuri, one of the strongest to hit northern China in a decade. Crops throughout the region were completely wiped out, and the property damage that has been done is off the charts. Meanwhile, the sun continues to behave very oddly, and a lot of people are starting to notice. Earlier today, my attention was directed to the thread on a prominent internet discussion forum. The man that started this thread was colorfully described what he is seeing in Florida right now. So as the title has suggested, I have a damn good understanding of my surroundings, what's average and what is not outside. I've heard a tree company, pressure washing company, for close to 20 years. I've had a pressure washing company for close to 20 years, he said. I know intimately the cycles and goings on of the sun, the weather, and the little hit of seasonal change we have in Central Florida. I also know the trees and the foliage and what it means, even when they drop their seeds and pollen early or late. Something ain't right with the sun, he says. It's killing trees. It's frying grass. It's killing gardens. It's overwhelming air conditioners. I don't want to hear this shit about it being hot every summer in Florida. No effing shit. I've lived here for 30 years, he says. The sun is markedly stronger this year. It truly is. We are having heat indexes over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Has it gotten this hot before? Sure, but not consecutively. And that with the sun, add that with the sun, it's gotten intense. I'm hearing through all my contractor buddies, even Mexicans are falling out all over the place on construction and landscape sites. Unheard of. Those guys are so strong in 100+ degree heat. This is not normal. I've been a subscriber to Ben Davidson and Suspicious Observers, and from a while I was beginning to think space was something else, and it may be, but seeing the sun act like this, maybe there's a 12K year disaster cycle, maybe we're a blue marble floating along at the whims of our star and galactic sheet, and maybe, just maybe, in the next 20 years we're going to have front row seats to a reset like the movie 2012. Because something ain't right with the sun, he says. It's never been the white this strong, nor taking out this many peeps. Sadly, he's correct. The sun has been acting very strangely, and this is something that I have been talking about for quite a while now. I'm entirely convinced that the years ahead will be a time of unprecedented earth changes, and I believe the sun will play a major role in that process. You could drop 1 million Earths inside the sun and still have room to spare. The giant ball of fire that we are revolving around is absolutely colossal, but most people want to downplay the impact that solar activity is having on our weather, and at the same time it appears that the interior of our planet is also becoming increasingly unstable. I believe that we're going to see some things happening during the times that are approaching that many people would consider to be impossible. We're entering an era when it will pay to expect the unexpected, and life will never be quite the same ever again. This is by Michael Snyder. He says, "My name is Michael, and my brand new book entitled End Times is now available on Amazon. In addition to my new book, I've written 6 other books that are available on Amazon, including 7-Year Apocalypse, Lost Prophecies of the Future of America, The Beginning of the End, and Living a Life That Really Matters, Commissions Earned. When you purchase any of these books, you help to support the work that I'm doing, and one way that you can really help is by sending copies as gifts to family and friends. Time is short, and I need help getting these warnings into the hands of as many people as possible. I've also started a brand new Substack newsletter, and I encourage you to subscribe so that you won't miss any of the latest updates. I've published thousands of articles on the Economic Collapse blog, End of the American Dream, and the most important news. And the articles that I publish on those sites are republished on dozens of other prominent websites all over the globe. I always freely and happily allow others to republish my articles on their own websites, but I also ask that they include this about the author section with each article. The material contained in this article is for general information purposes only, and readers should consult licensed professionals before making any legal, business, financial, or health decisions. I encourage you to follow me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, and any way that you can share these articles with others is definitely a great help. There are such troubled times, and people need hope. John 3:16 tells us about the hope that God has given us through Jesus Christ. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. If you have not already done so, I strongly urge you to invite Jesus Christ to be your Lord and Savior today. And this is on End of the American Dream by Michael Snyder. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.